Tommy, look, the people of California going to that poor UCLA grad student who was murdered, they vote for leftists that create policies that allow things like this to happen. When are the people of California going to wake up and stop voting in these people?
Listen, Todd, every bad idea of at least the last 5 years has originated in either California or New York, and that's no coincidence. Those two states also provide a perfect example of what happens when you allow one-party Democrat rule, and it's a case study and a cautionary tale, and it's especially when you look at the lawlessness and the soft on crime, soft on criminals, soft on thug policies that are formed and fomented in both those states. You know, I lived in California for several years, and I saw this firsthand. I decided to leave the state when I realized that some of its residents seemed more startled by seeing a conservative like myself in the flesh than they were seeing an addict light up a pipe in a yogurt land. I also saw that firsthand. But as you said, Todd, if the people of California and New York want to make changes, they have to start with the way that they vote. Nothing is going to change until you decide to vote for either moderate Democrats who believe in law and order and protecting decent people, or you vote for Republicans that I know are certainly about law and order and protecting and preserving the rights of law-abiding Americans in their cities and their states. But they're going to have to make big changes. They also have an opportunity in both those states to be a case study of what happens when you change your vote and you make big changes to not only your politicians, but your felon coddling policies. Something needs to change before it's too late.
These numbers, Tommy, are astounding. LA crime from 2019 to 2021, homicides up almost 54%, shooting victims up 54%. And I think we both know the area where this UCLA grad was murdered. It's a nice area. It's the Fairfax district. I used to live right around the corner. I always felt safe. I was there for four and a half years. Should anybody feel safe in a blue city going forward?
I think that this is also where you're going to start to see some big changes. It's one thing when this impacts the ghettos and the inner cities. It's another thing when it impacts nice areas. And that's sad to say, because that shouldn't be the case. Every American should be safe on their cities, in their cities and on their streets. But that's not the case in places like California. And I think the Democrats, and especially these activist DAs, need to be asked, what is your motivation for being soft on criminals and soft on crime? What is it? Why are you motivated to protect the lowest denominator of human being in your cities and your states? And why are you not protecting the law-abiding Americans that look to government for nothing else but protection? Democrats need to answer for that. They're going to have to answer for it in midterms. I wish it didn't take an election cycle to make big changes, but unfortunately, sometimes it does. We have a big opportunity to make big changes, and that comes in November.
Speaking of not really a change, but going back to the past, a former top advisor to Bill Clinton says there's a good chance Hillary will run in 2024 if Joe Biden loses Congress in the midterms. Cue up Dick Morris.
Hillary has set up a brilliant strategy. She has set up a zero-sum game. The higher, the worse she does, the better she does. Because she's positioned herself as the Democratic alternative to Biden. Not just to Biden, but to the extreme left in the Democratic Party.
Tommy, how bad have things become that the Democrats have to turn to Hillary Clinton as their savior?
You almost have to feel badly for the Democrat Party because that is what their bench entails. Someone that they see as really a beacon of hope and change is a two-time loser, Hillary Clinton, who couldn't beat Donald Trump, whose policies couldn't beat Donald Trump. The American people don't see Hillary Clinton as an alternative to Joe Biden. They see someone like a Donald Trump or a Ron DeSantis as an alternative to Joe Biden and, of course, Hillary Clinton. But the fact that the Democrats think that they should resurrect Hillary's dead political career and somehow she's going to be the savior for their party also shows how tone deaf they are about the actual will and want of the American people. We want America First policies. We want to feel safe in our cities and our streets and at our southern border. Hillary Clinton is not going to be the woman to do that. But it also goes to show when you have a president like Joe Biden and a vice president like Kamala Harris who are so poorly liked, and Hillary Clinton is your next in line, oh boy, you guys got to go back to the drawing board and maybe come up with something new for a change.
Nobody is a worse bench compared to the Democrats than, of course, my New York Football Giants. Don't forget to check out Final Thoughts with Tommy, available exclusively on Fox Nation. Tommy, thank you.
Hi, Winner Brian Kilmeade.